I need a cloud to come because the lighting is changing. Please, you never let me down for clouds any other time. Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today I am so excited to talk to you about the makeup looks that I did for a recent wedding in our family. These looks are going to range from 10 years old all the way up to mother of the groom, including my own makeup. So if you would like to stick around, hear about the products that I used and the looks I created, then I hope that you will stay tuned and we'll get right into it. Right, quick housekeeping. So if you're not here for that, I'll put a timestamp here to skip to. It's been a while. I have not sat down to film in over a week. Things have gotten crazy. I started my new job. I'm still trying to figure out what this schedule looks like, but I'm hoping to get this up potentially today. If not, then we might have a video Thursday, Friday. We'll see. But thank you for bearing with me. Thank you to everyone new who has subscribed since last week. That's so exciting. I was super pumped to hit 50 and now we're at 62, I think. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot wait to share everything about this wedding. It was amazing. I had so much fun, maybe a little too much fun. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into products. And I'm just so excited. So the first thing that I want to cover is my makeup look. So I'm actually wearing a recreation of that makeup look. I pretty much wore what I put together in my Get Ready With Me sweat-proof, allergy-proof makeup. So I will link that down below. The only difference is I added a shimmery product to my lid, which we'll get into, and my lip combination is different, which I'll just comment on now. It is the Victoria Beckham lipstick, Posh lipstick in the color Pop, which is a beautiful kind of true blue red. It's like the exact color of my nails, which we'll get into in a second. And then over top of that, because I can't live without these and they're just so comfortable and easy to reapply, is the Fitglow Beauty Lip Serum in the shade Spark. Again, this one is a little bit more coral compared to that Victoria Beckham, but the two together gave me the perfect color that went with my outfit. So I will insert a picture here. My outfit, I was so in love with it. I had a different top, but it was white. And even though everyone assured me it was okay, I really didn't want to mix the two. So here are those two colors, the Victoria Beckham on the bottom and the Fitglow on the top. It matched perfectly to the color in my skirt and then also to my headband, which I'm wearing today, earrings as well. And I just have to show off my nails because I took a picture of the skirt and my headband in with me, and Bethany absolutely did a phenomenal job. Like, I cannot get over the detail that she was able to give, and I apologize if my cuticles are wrecked. It's been crazy, but I'm in absolute love with these and just like the whole thing together. Who could ask for more, right? So anyway, that's my look. I'll link it below. I've shared some pictures, but the most exciting thing is I knew going into this weekend that I was going to do mother of the groom makeup. So a lot of what I packed, which is how I'm going to run through this, I'll be sharing photos of the looks as well, but it's a lot. It's a lot to get through. So we're going to go through this kind of like what I used for everybody, the sun care that I packed because it was an outdoor wedding. So if you are going to an outdoor wedding, some of these products might be perfect for you. And then we'll kind of go through what I used on everybody else. So I did 6 faces, not including mine, and it was so much fun. I'm so glad that they let me do it. I also need to say I am not a professional makeup artist. I have never had professional training. I just love makeup, and every once in a while someone is gracious enough to ask me to do makeup for them, and I love it. It is very gratifying to do. All right, disclaimer out of the way, my makeup look out of the way. Let's get into some non-makeup beauty products that I packed that made this experience a lot better, in my opinion. So I will start with body SPF. So this was an outdoor wedding where we had the ceremony. We weren't undercover, so I knew that we should probably pack something even before I knew what the location looked like. And I had mentioned these in my last video that I picked up at Sephora, but I picked up the Supergoop Play with green algae, which we talk about a lot here on my channel. I use the original Supergoop Play all the time. We have the big Honka tub and my husband and I both love it. So I went ahead and packed this because it's a little bit smaller. It fit in my bag to take with me to the ceremony and the reception. And then, you know, sometimes you don't want to have to be rubbing in a product like this. So I also packed the Supergoop Glow Stick SPF 50. These are both chemical sunscreens. Actually, no. The Glow Stick is a chemical sunscreen. This one is zinc oxide 16%. So 100% mineral and then chemical. I typically go for mineral. Now that I know that, I will definitely be using this on my face because green algae, hello, yes, and also mineral sunscreen. This does not rub in like a traditional mineral sunscreen, so I highly recommend this. The bridesmaids were happy that I packed this because they were roasting, and I'm happy to protect people. You know, SPF is very important. But this glow stick was a game changer. So my seat at the reception for part of the reception was a little bit in the sun, and this was so easy to pop open, hurry up and rub on my arm or my shoulder, my neck, whatever was in the sun, and it not only makes your skin look glowy and gorgeous, it sinks in pretty quick. You will have a very moisturized feeling. It's not super oily, but you can tell you have something on your skin, but it looks gorgeous and it did the trick. I did not burn, which is for me a feat. So both of these are small enough that you can throw them in like a small to mid-sized purse and just protect yourself, protect others. SPF for life, you know? And then for facial SPF, I will get into once we kind of go through the skin prep products that I took. So I wanted to take products that I knew wouldn't irritate anybody's skin. We also had planned on doing kind of like a spa day for my nieces, who, it was so much fun. They brought face masks, like sheet masks and different things. So I wanted to bring some skin prep products just in case they wanted to feel like they were pampering themselves. The first one, no surprise, is the Fitglow Beauty C Ceramide Toning Mist. Facial mists are just fun. If you're in need of extra hydration or if you just want to feel decadent, facial mists are just fun. And I knew that this one didn't have any ingredients that could potentially irritate the girls or anyone that I was doing makeup for. So the girls did use this. I use this every day. Incredible ceramides, again, soothing, along with the C extracts. Then I also took 2 serums in case they wanted to take it a step further. And also I didn't know if who I was doing makeup for might need a little boost of hydration before I started adding makeup on top. So I took the Phytosurgence C Submerge. We've talked about this at length multiple times. Absolutely love this. Again, I knew that this wasn't going to irritate anyone's skin, especially the girls. So I believe Molly used this one, and it's a good one to have a lot of hydration. And then I also packed the Tower28 SOS Save Our Skin Serum. This is a hypochlorous acid product. Talked about this recently. We'll probably go over some of this again in another video, but this is another one that I know is not going to harm skin on anyone that I'm doing makeup for. It is the Eczema Foundation approved, I believe. Yep, accepted by the National Eczema Association. It is great for rosacea, eczema, acne. It's just a great soothing, bacteria killing serum, and I was more than happy to have this. I used this the day of as well. Then lastly, for skin prep, and this is the one that I know I'm going to go at length for, is the Live Tinted 3-in-1 Hueguard Mineral Sunscreen Moisturizer and Primer. She looks like this. I have so much to say, but first I want to say, heck yeah, they're coming out with a jumbo size. So I cannot be more happier, because I was going to talk about this once it's empty in my empties and say that I'm like blowing through this, especially now that I used it on so many people that weekend. But I'm so happy they're coming out with a jumbo. I will be repurchasing the jumbo size. However, this is a fully mineral sunscreen. It has the 3-in-1 claim. I can absolutely attest that it stands up to being moisturizing, an SPF, but also an incredible makeup primer. This sits so well under makeup. It moisturizes the skin beautifully. So those two things together just make for a dream base. I used this on everybody, on the girls, on my sister-in-laws, on my mother-in-law, on the mother of the groom, who is my aunt-in-law, if that's a thing, and also on myself, and also on my husband, okay? This is tinted, but it is not super tinted so that it doesn't work for skin tones. It works for everybody. I am very fair, rubbed in, it is just a very light tint so that you don't get a white cast. It is just so great. I mean, once you fully rub this in, I squirted out too much, and again, wasting product, but it's incredible. And everyone that I used this on loved it. My aunt-in-law, the mother of the groom, texted me afterwards and was like, what did you use? Because it didn't break my face out and it was great. Amen. You know, I do wish it was SPF 50. It is SPF 30, but this product is incredible. My husband will wear this. I have been on him about SPF for longer than I can tell you, and to know that this was a winner all day. I pack this all day, you know? Jumbo size, here we come. So great under makeup, great for all skin types, from young to mature, oily to dry. I would recommend this to absolutely anyone and everyone, you know? It's just great. And then the last product that I want to talk about that I packed is hair care. So I knew with the wedding, we were gonna be doing styled hairdos, and I wanted to pack something just in case. And I had bought this at the Sephora sale because I wanted to try a very fine hairspray that would hold a style but not make my hair crunchy, you know? I have very fine hair. If it's crunchy, it's gonna look real crazy. So I have the Oribe Superfine hairspray, just the small bottle. My husband used this to style his hair, worked beautifully. My mother-in-law used this to style her hair and it worked beautifully, and they had nothing but great things to say. I used it to kind of put down my flyaways as I wore my hair just like this because I knew it was gonna be a hot sunny day. Love this. Just like their dry shampoo, I will be waiting with bated breath to see if they do some sort of kit in the Nordstrom anniversary sale like they did the last time I purchased the bigger size. So if you need a fine hairspray, a finishing spray, so to speak, I can attest to this. My mother-in-law can, and also my husband. So love that. Okay, so to knock some of these products out pretty quickly, I'm gonna go over 2 products that I used on absolutely everybody that sat in my chair. The first one is the Rose Ink Concealer, and yes, I used the shade that I use, which is LX0101. I will say these were my family members. However, I did wash all of my brushes and sanitize all of my items. For items like this, I would put it on the back of my hand and then apply with a brush. So I did my best. Again, not a professional. However, I used the same color on everyone because it is a perfect eyeshadow base. It's full coverage. It does not crease. It lasts. I mean, it will crease. If you have deep creases, things are going to crease. But the eyeshadow underneath does not crease because of this. It sets down on its own, so you don't have to powder it, and it doesn't grab the eyeshadow to where it's insanely pigmented and you can't blend it out. It blends like a dream on top of this. So I use this on absolutely everybody, including myself. And then I also used the Kosas Air Brow on everyone, whether it was the taupe shade or I just set with clear just to keep brows in place and groomed. Everybody got this. So those are the 2 things. And yes, I would highly recommend those. I use those every single day in my personal life. They're a part of my look today. Absolutely outstanding products. And then a third one that I used on everybody is the Phytosurgence Spectral Shine in Divine Daylight. I really wanted to see how this translated on more mature skin and also younger skin when it comes to setting underneath the eyes and blurring. It did phenomenal. It looked so good on everyone. So especially for photos, if you really want to look kind of like airbrushed, photoshopped, what have you, this did an outstanding job of setting and blurring, and it looked beautiful even on mature skin, even more so on mature skin. So would not hesitate to recommend this to anyone. Divine Daylight is a perfect shade if you are fair to light in skin tone and you don't want it to highlight by color, rather just give you an airbrushed flawless finish. I'm wearing it today. It's the best. It's the best. Okay, now I have my notes up. Let's go through some of these other makeup looks and I will pull the products out as we talk about them. So for the mother of the groom, we did the Tinted 3-in-1 SPF Primer Moisturizer as her base. She does not typically wear concealer or foundation, so we went with that as the base, but I also added a little bit of the Thrive Cosmetics concealer in Very Fair just under the eyes. She's not the same color as I am, but this was just to kind of counteract any dark circles. She didn't have much. I'm very jealous of all of these women's skin because there was not anything to correct really, but because of the color that we'll get into that we chose for her eye makeup, I just wanted to make sure that she looked as flawless as possible. So just a couple dots of this. It's very low to medium coverage, but it looks like skin, and I was excited to test this again on more mature skin, and it absolutely looked beautiful. Would recommend to anyone and everyone, and you'll see this is another one that I used on just about everybody, just to kind of perfect the under eye a little bit. But once we got done with that, I used the Kosas brow product we just talked about and the Rose Ink eye base. Now, the exciting part was she brought me the colors that she wanted to do for her eyes and then her cheeks and lips. I had packed more than enough, and I'm glad I did because I ended up using it on other people and myself. But what she brought was the Thrive Brilliant Eye Brightener Pencil in the blue shade. I will input the name of the blue shade here and below. I actually have that one, but I'm here, so we'll keep going. She also had the Thrive mascara in blue. You'll see that all of these women brought their own Thrive mascara because I've turned everybody that I can imagine onto that because it is the best, and they all agree. So that makes me feel so good that what I recommend works out. But what I did is I laid down that mascara or Thrive eye brightener in the blue shade, and that was kind of where I wanted to start. So from there, I picked up the palette that this is the one that I feel like if you're going to purchase any products out of this video, I would say the Live Tinted and then also this. If you are doing bridal makeup, if you're doing the bridal party makeup, if you're doing more mature makeup, younger makeup, if you're just doing anyone's makeup, I cannot get over how much I love this palette. I've expressed that on my channel before, but Beautopsy specifically for this purpose, you have all of the shades that you would need to. You've got dark if you really want to smoke something out. You've got 2 shades that you could purpose as blush. You've got plenty of crease options with this color gradient here, and then you've got enough to highlight and build dimension depending on if you're very, very fair like I am and you're using this white shade up here, or if you can kind of come towards the center for someone with a little bit darker of a skin tone. This palette did everything that I needed it to build the base of everyone's look. This palette I used on almost everyone, and the only reason it wasn't everyone is because the other 2 palettes I packed were just too perfect. So, oh my gosh, I used this on 4 people, 5 including myself. The formula of this too, this is a matte, and this is another reason why he just knocked it out of the park with this, especially for the purpose that we're talking about. It is all matte, it goes down sheer, but you can build it up, and it really loves to be blended so easily. This is such a beginner friendly formula and a mature skin formula because it does something where it blur is not the right word, it smooths. Like, I'm starting to get texture on my eyelids as well, and even when I use this, I notice that it kind of smooths that skin out for me, which, thank you, because that is hard to navigate as our body and skin on our face changes. Not every formula that we used to love works out, and I love this. This can be built super stark. I'm wearing the white in my inner corner like I normally do. I could build this up more intense than this, or I could sheer it out less than this, but this is like the happy medium that I can get to very easily. Beautiful with brushes. I could wax poetic for hours on this. Again, if you were going to pick up anything from this video, this Hindash palette is absolutely it. For every day, for event makeup, just an absolute staple in my collection now. And then the Live Tinted. These 2 products, I mean, just great. But back to my aunt-in-law's look. I used the white just to brighten the inner corner up a little bit. And then I also used the gray to build some dimension in her crease, and then I also dipped slightly into the middle here of this brown to black just to build along the lash line. But what was so exciting is she also brought a I think it was Algae or Revlon. I will pop a picture up on the screen. It was a navy liquid liner. And this liquid liner and that eye brightener, we even did a test. I swatched them both on my hands. I rubbed them. They weren't going anywhere. We put water on them and rubbed them. So that eyeliner, that brilliant eye brightener, I'll put the pictures up here, plus the Thrive mascara that we know is not going to run. An absolute perfect combo for a wedding. If you cry, happy tears, nothing's going to go anywhere. If it's hot and you're sweating, nothing's going to go anywhere. She just looked absolutely gorgeous. The blue really brought out the blue in her eyes, and I hope that she was happy with the look that we achieved. It was so much fun. But to top that eye look off, I wanted her to have a little razzle dazzle, you know? So what we did is we added the Patrick Ta from the original bronze palette. This first shade here, I believe it's Abundance. This texture, again, is kind of odd. It is pretty flaky, but when we tapped it over the eye, it was the perfect color to add just a touch of something special. And I focused this on the inner corner and middle of the lid, and it just looked so beautiful, especially with those blue colors, kind of bringing up a little bit of warmth so we didn't go too cool toned. However, the cool tones looked absolutely gorgeous on her skin. I loved her look. And then I will also include pictures here of the Clinique Chubby Stick that she used. I want to say that it was Plumped Up Peony because it was on the cooler side, and that was the first time I'd ever used one of those chubby sticks that are the balm formula. Beautiful on the cheeks, looked like skin, absolutely phenomenal. And then we used the Patrick Ta contour with the Gucci bronzer, which again, I used those on multiple people, and I'm a bad YouTuber because mine is over there because I use them on myself as well. But that was her face. And then for lips, she brought the coolest company. I'm going to insert the name here. Very sustainable. All the packaging was recyclable. And I will put the lip color that we used on her here. She loves the products. I think she said they're marketed more towards mature skin, but I think that I'm going to check out the color options that they have and potentially talk about the brand a little bit on my channel because we love conscious beauty brands here, you know? But yeah. That was the Mother of the Grooms look. I hope that that's helpful. The way that I'm setting this up, again, gorgeous. I loved using those blue colors. It just, it was so fun, so fun. Okay, then for my mother-in-law, we used the Clinique Super Balanced Makeup Foundation. That's the foundation that she wears every day. She told me that she typically applies with her fingers, which is totally fine, but this one's dirty and it's mine, but I took a brand new 2-pack of the EcoTools biodegradable beauty sponges. These are the best beauty sponges on the market and they're biodegradable. Like, who can argue with that? It says plant me on it. You know, I even showed these to my father-in-law because he is a landscaper and he does a lot of composting, and he was like so intrigued. It was so fun to kind of like talk about this with everyone. But this will like double in size when you wet it. I showed her how to use it, told her just to wash it with whatever soap works. She loved it because it just feels so pampering to touch. And I love that I was able to share something like this with her. So she took that one home. I think she enjoyed it. I'll have to ask her if she's been using it and how she's getting on with it. But loved that, and it worked incredibly well with that Clinique makeup. Her skin looked beautiful with the Clinique makeup. She doesn't even need foundation. Again, all these women are blessed with beautiful skin, but she is one that I mentioned in a video a while ago where like their skin looks incredible and they've been using Clinique, so that's why I dabble in Clinique from time to time. But that looked beautiful. I did add a touch of the Thrive concealer again just under the eyes, and then when it came to the rest of her base, we did the Gucci bronzer. No surprise there. Love that. Then we also did the rose ink as the base, the clear Kosas eyebrow for her. And then we also used I'm looking at my notes. This blush combo was so good. I used the Pat McGrath blush in Nymphette over top of the Balm Desert Blush Bronzer. So this one gave me kind of like bronzer blush, and then bronzer, blush, contour really, and very neutral for any look that you want to kind of like, you want a flush to your cheek, but you don't want your cheeks to be the star of the show. But then adding Nymphette on the tops of her cheek just gave a beautiful natural radiant gradient. And I haven't used that combo before, but now I will be using that combo on my face. So we used that. And then for her eyes, I had so much fun with this because we had a big discussion on color theory and the color of her eyes as well as my husband's eyes and a couple other of their family members, because I had always thought they were blue, but they're like green, but blue-green. So I was like trying to play with color theory here a little bit. And this next palette has always really played well on the color of my eyes, which is a warmer, more golden green, since it is hazel compared to my husband's, which really looks blue with certain colors if you add them. So I went in with the Makeup by Mario Foreplay Everyday Quads in the nudes, nude 1, and I used this in the inner corner, this in the crease, this all over the lid, and then this to build up the lash line and the outer V. And it flattered her eyes. This is another formula, even with the shimmers, that really does smooth the eyelid and make it look just airbrushed, flawless, no matter the texture of your eyelids. I love this quad. I will continue to use this until it's panned and then potentially repurchase. It's just, for every day it's great, but you can absolutely build these shimmers up to be special occasion. And then I topped her eyeshadow look with the same thing that I topped my eyeshadow look with, and that is the Phytosurgence Flash Fluorescent eyeshadow in Fractal Freesia. Ooh, say that fast. Flash Fluorescence and Fractal Freesia. That would be a good speech warm-up. Anyway, this product is absolutely stunning. Again, just like that Patrick Ta shade, it's just going to add a little bit of fun extraness to the look. Flash Fluorescence is down here, so you'll see it's a little bit warmer, has that gold tone to it. So this Patrick Ta was much more suited for that blue look, whereas this one was absolutely stunning on the rest of these kind of neutral leaning warm looks. So I topped it off with that just for a little bit of fun. And we also used the Fitglow liquid eyeliner in the shade Brown. I don't know that I've talked about this on my channel, but I have used this for a while, and I got a freebie recently with a big Fitglow purchase, so I took the new one with me. I really love this eyeliner, and it's great because it has ingredients that are supposed to help thicker lashes. It is a beautiful deep chocolate brown, so it does that thing that I love where it's brown so it doesn't look stark like black, but it's also dark enough to really add definition. And we did this very tight to her lash line, which is easy to do with this very fine point felt tip liner. Just outstanding product. We used that, and I smoked that out a little bit with that darkest shadow from the palette. And then she used the Thrive mascara for the first time. I'm so interested to know how she got on with that, so I'm going to ask her, and I will maybe pop something up on the screen here. But yeah, this look was so much fun. She felt like she looked so different, but she looked the same to me, just glam, you know, and it was so much fun to do that. She doesn't typically wear eyeshadow at all, so it was so much fun to play with her in that way. So I hope she loved her look as well. I thought she looked beautiful. And yeah, let's move on to the next set of ladies. So I am going to move into my sister-in-law, Kelly. So for Kelly, it was so funny. We were joking around, like, we probably started at 10:30, and we got everyone done and out of there by like 3:10 or something like that, which is a long time, but also we had a whole house full of people. I mean, I did 6 women's makeup plus my own, so 7, and there was still 1 or 2 more women plus all of our significant others getting ready in a house. So we got through this pretty quickly. But for Kel, she did all of her base makeup. I just went in with, and I was so excited to use this one, I used the Aether Desert Sunset palette on her, and we did my favorite, what I always do, inner corner and lid, and then some of these mattes to kind of create a crease. build up the lash line. And sometimes I would bring in that Hen Dash if I wanted it to be just a shadow with that gray shade. So I love this. This can go glam. This can go every day. It absolutely packs a punch if you want to build up those shimmers or use them wet. I just use them dry with a brush. Absolutely incredible. So much fun. And we also added a little bit of Fractal Freesia because, listen, glitter, you know? You get an excuse to wear glitter, you use the glitter. She also wore Thrive mascara, and I thought she looked absolutely stunning. Again, it was so much fun to play with someone else and do their makeup and make it a little bit more glam than they're used to doing, and bust out some brushes and just have fun, you know? Absolutely great. And then I did do my other sister-in-law's makeup, and for her, I used the Aether palette again, but I didn't grab photos. But we did something really smoky. We used the Revlon Color Stay Liquid Liner in brown, which I have used before years ago, and I used it consistently for years. Another fantastic option if you don't want things to budge. More budge proof than the Fitglow, but this isn't going to just run if it hits water. You'd have to be rubbing at this for this to come off. However, the Revlon, you got to add a makeup remover, you know? Same with that Algae that my aunt used. So anyway, that's what we used on Julie. I don't believe we used Fractal Freesia because we really built up the shimmers and the smokiness. So the next that I will get into is Molly, my niece, who is 10 years old. Shout out Molly. I feel like we have so much in common because she's very fashion and makeup oriented, and I was at her age as well. So I was so excited to do her makeup. Her dress was adorable. It was yellow with pink flowers, very Belle-like. So I wanted to do something fun, but not do like pageant makeup. I wanted it to be still wearable for her. So I popped out my other Hen Dash palette, which is the Monochromance palette. And we had so much fun with the first gradient to build kind of like a traditional base eye look. But then we really went in and had fun with this shade here, which is called Heavy Petal. And we played with the top and bottom colors, and we just had so much fun creating a nice little pink look. But because you can sheer these out, it doesn't look like you went overboard on a 10-year-old's face. Do you know what I mean? It just looked soft and so pretty and beautiful. And then with those kind of cooler brown tones, kind of building believable shadows, so it didn't look like just pink play makeup. And then we topped her, of course, with Fractal Freesia because she needed some glitter, you know? And we even built the lash line up a little bit with that darker pink and kind of mixed a couple colors. That's another thing with the Hen Dash palettes. He makes it so easy to mix colors, whether it's going in the middle of a gradient or mixing two together to get the color that you need. Loved that. And then I was so excited because the colors that we were using on her face really lent well to the Natasha Denona puff paints. These were perfect, especially for a younger person's makeup because they just look like skin. They don't look like pigment sitting on top of the skin. They're easy to blend out. So I did use Daria as her blush and then Tan as her bronzer, and they just went into the skin. So easy. They didn't look super makeup-y on her. Her base really just looked kind of glowing more so than usual. I mean, she's 10, so she's got that youth, you know? But she looked so beautiful, and I hope that she liked it. The last thing that I used on her, before I get ahead of myself, she used her mother's Thrive Cosmetic Mascara again, and then I used a little bit of Koi, the Fitglow Lip Serum in Koi, which is kind of a deeper peach, and then I'm not seeing it, but we added a little bit of Bee to lighten it up since she was like so light and pink. So that was Molly's look. That one was so much fun. I think she loved it. I loved it on her. Like, how fun. I've been wanting to play with some of those pastel colors in that Monochromance palette, and it was so fun to do on Molly. So thank you, Molly, for letting me do that. And then lastly, I did Taylor's makeup, which she is also my niece. She's 13 years old, so a little bit older, but still don't want to overdo it. So what we did on her was the Hen Dash Beautopsy palette because she wanted to keep it really natural. She didn't want to go super shimmery, which I totally was up for the challenge because I love doing looks like that, and I knew that this palette would be perfect for it. So I really played, again, this is one of my favorite shades, this gray going into a brown. It is Feel plus Real. This is just absolutely great to build a base with. And then we lightened her up in the inner corner with a mix of these two because I didn't want to go super stark. And then I also built the lash line up with a little bit of this brown over here, which is Intra. And we built that up, we blended everything. It just looks super natural and pretty. But then as I'm adding it, we're all like, let's add fun. Today is a fun day. So I tapped the tiniest bit of Fractal Freesia, which is another reason I love this product. As you can see, you can just add a little bit of a glimmer or shine to the eye look, or you can pack this baby on and be a glitter monster queen, you know? And that's my favorite alter ego. So versatile, again, I use this on just about everybody. Love that so much. And this is another one like this, and those Natasha Denona puff paints. I'm seriously considering gifting some of my nieces because they're great products and they're so easy to use. And I'm so excited they're getting to the age where they like this stuff. And again, on her, I used Koi Fitglow Lip Serum on its own. And I also used, I'm looking at my notes here, Natasha Denona Tan for her bronzer. Again, this was light enough that it looked at home on younger skin. It did not look like heavy pigment. And then we also used my very favorite blush, which is Phytosurgence Skin Spark in Fume. Absolutely great. Goes well with everyone. It's a very neutral blush. This is going to look good on a bride, on guests of the bride. If you want your eyes to stand out, if you want a very demure look, kind of like Taylor had where everything's really natural, this is absolutely stunning and what I would recommend. It's typically what I wear, but for this day, I chose, okay, that was Taylor's look. Taylor, thank you so much for letting me do your makeup. I know that we wanted to keep it not sparkly, but thank you for letting me tap a little glitter on you. It was a lot of fun. And I hope all of these women love their looks. It was so much fun to do. So much fun. Like that whole weekend, I really, really needed. And maybe I'll get into that in a Get Ready With Me later this week. But I hope that this has been helpful. I'm going to go over a few things that I used on myself that are a little different from that video that I will link below, but not very much is different at all. So I'm going to run through my look just as I'm thinking about it, and then we'll wrap this up. And if you would like to see a tutorial on any of these looks, please let me know down below. But yeah, let's get into my makeup. So as I mentioned, I'll run through the things that I go over in that Get Ready With Me Sweat Proof, Allergy Proof. I did the same thing. It's tried, tested, and true, and it works great. So for my base, I used my favorite combo, which is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream Original and Fair, and the Rose Ink Concealer in LX1010 under my eyes and to set my eyes for makeup. I used the Kosas Air Brow and Brow Pop in Taupe to define my eyebrows. And then where the magic starts coming in, I used the Hindash Butopsy palette to build the crease and the inner corner of my eyes. Then I topped that with a little hint of Fractal Freesia just to give me a little bit of shine. I used the liquid eye pencil from Stila, which is their Stay All Day dual-ended liquid liner. I used the black side, which has the finest tip, which is great to get close to the lash line. You might have to take some time filling in a little bit more, but this stuff does not budge. Does not budge at all. Highly recommend that. Then I also used my Thrive Cosmetics mascara in Crystal, which is the brown shade. Can't say enough good things. But where I strayed a little bit from that video is typically I would use my beloved Fume on my lip, on my face, but I knew that I was wearing a lot of red and I wanted to do a statement red lip. So I went with Phytosurgence Inferno blush, which is a beautiful terracotta brownish red. It's like a clay, like a true terracotta clay. Beautiful. It's what I have on today. It's what I wore at the wedding. It gives a hint of that red so that it looks at home with all the colors on your face, but it's not, you can build this up, surely, but at the kind of level that I built this up, it just looks absolutely stunning. And then I strayed from my typical Gucci bronzer for the Patrick Ta contour and bronzer. That's what I have on today. That's what I had on at the wedding. And then the lips we discussed is the Fitglow Lip Serum in Spark over top of the Victoria Beckham Posh Lipstick in Pop. Beautiful combo, especially for the color I was wearing. And I think that's it. I did take Spark with me to touch up, but I also took the N Beauty Lip Glaze in number 2 Berry to touch up if I didn't really want to invest in putting a strong color on my lips. And during the reception, you're eating and drinking a lot, so that adds just a hint of red, makes you look finished, but without committing to have to using a mirror. And yeah, that is everything. I went through everything. The last thing I will mention is the bag that I packed everything in case anyone was curious or would like the bag. Unfortunately, it is from Henri Bendel, who is now no longer in existence. My sister got this for me. I absolutely love it. I have a matching smaller bag that goes with it. It's made from the same kind of lacquered canvas as Louis Vuitton, but not anywhere close to the price, which is absolutely great. And I love the colors, the black and white. It's very me. So yeah, I packed this everywhere. It was perfect to take all of my family's things. Again, freaking terrible at removing these plastic ties. Yeah, but that's it. I'm so excited. I finally sat down to film. If, again, you want to see any of these looks tutorial-wise, let me know. I'm happy to do that. I may even be able to get them to model for me once again, but I will be including pictures and small snippets of the people I remember to do that with. And yeah, I hope you have a fabulous day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, which hopefully will be coming very soon. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye.